For centuries, this serene image has defined our perception of Leonardo da Vinci. We picture a tranquil, vegetarian pacifist who spent his days observing nature and buying caged birds just to set them free. But at 24, his life fractured. A public accusation of homosexuality led to a devastating trial that stripped him of his social standing. The resulting humiliation broke him, driving him into a 4-year period of isolation that changed the trajectory of his work. Desperate to regain his dignity and fix his failing finances, he wrote a pitch to the Duke of Milan. He didn't offer his services as a painter. Instead, he weaponized his intellect, marketing himself as a ruthless engineer of war. While the public saw a quiet artist, his private notebooks began to fill with horrific machinery. He drafted plans for horse-drawn chariots equipped with massive rotating blades, specifically designed to slice through human bodies as if they were stalks of wheat. This shift from pacifist to war engineer reflects a mind under immense psychological strain. To understand why he began designing for death, we have to look at how he applied his obsession with physical laws to the art of fear. This is his 33-barrel organ gun. Notice the fan-like spread of the metal tubes. By arranging these barrels in 3 rotating rows, he conceptualized a predecessor to the machine gun, intended to break an enemy's psychological will through sheer, relentless speed. He also designed this fully enclosed armored tank. With its sloped armor and internal crank mechanism, it was a walking iron fortress, designed to separate the operator entirely from the visceral reality of the battlefield. Yet, a closer look at his blueprints reveals a strange anomaly. He reversed the gears in his most lethal designs so that if the plans were stolen, the machines would jam. He was protecting the world from the very genius he was trying to sell. His mastery of these physical systems eventually moved beyond static weapons. Using only a complex arrangement of gears and springs, he built a fully mechanical lion that could walk and move its head, a functioning robot created 4 centuries before the word robotics was ever spoken. These designs served a specific purpose. By offering the Duke the ability to automate warfare, Leonardo attempted to rebuild his reputation on a foundation of military necessity, trading his mechanical insights for social standing and financial security. Look at the underlying structure beneath the fabric here. Leonardo eventually realized that flight was not a matter of flapping wings like a bird, but a result of air pressure acting on curved geometry, the very principle of aerodynamics used in modern gliders. That transition from machines to fluid dynamics led him into illicit territory. In cold, dark hospital rooms, he spent years peeling back the layers of human corpses, driven to understand the mechanical reality hidden beneath the skin. At a time when the church insisted the body was a vessel for a soul furnace, Leonardo relied on observation. He refused to view biology through the lens of mysticism, looking instead for the physics that kept a body in motion. He documented the S-curve of the spine and mapped the muscles as an engineered system of levers and pulleys. In his drawings, the shoulder is a ball and socket joint, and the muscles are dynamic suspension cables perfectly placed to optimize force. He moved past the religious superstitions of his era to view the body as a network of physical systems. He was reverse engineering biology, finding the same mechanical laws in our muscles that he found in his machines. This drawing highlights the complex, interconnected tubes branching out from the top of the heart. To understand them, Leonardo injected molten wax into a bull's heart, creating the first accurate 3D model of the organ's internal chambers. In the 15th century, doctors assumed blood pumped through the heart in a simple, straight line. But Leonardo's understanding of mechanics suggested a flaw. A straight flow wouldn't exert the outward pressure needed to snap the heart valve shut between beats. He hypothesized that blood actually travels in a whirlpool vortex. This spiraling motion creates the physical pressure necessary to catch the valve flaps and lock them in place, preventing backflow with every beat. He had identified a hidden mechanical requirement for life. His theory of spiraling blood remained a footnote for half a millennium until modern supercomputers finally validated the physics behind his sketches. But look at the fading faces in this mural. His obsession with perfection meant he was often too distracted by the universe to finish his work on Earth. He would spend years experimenting with new chemical varnishes rather than finishing the actual paintings he was paid for. This distractibility carried a high price. The Pope openly mocked his inability to complete projects, and eventually the Church permanently banned his hospital access, cutting off the anatomical research that had become his life's obsession. He spent his final years in exile in France. At 67, a stroke paralyzed his right hand, the same hand that had given the world the Mona Lisa and the Last Supper. Notice the deep, weary lines around his eyes. Even as his body failed, he continued to sketch with his left hand, driven by a mind that refused to stop asking how the world worked. In his final hours, he wrote a devastating confession in his notebook. He stated that he had offended both God and mankind because he had not worked as he should have. Leonardo da Vinci successfully reverse-engineered the physical mechanics of the entire universe, but died a prisoner to a mind 400 years of its time, entirely unable to find peace within himself.